Yes, it was.
Can you tell us about that?
Yes, it was. I'm a part of the Student SAC organization here at Western Michigan, and I'm the MAC representative along with Sydney LeMay. And Kathy Borgard brought it to our attention that the Gospel Mission downtown Kalamazoo is having an event called the Underwear Party. No, it's not. Has nothing to do with wearing underwear to a party, but rather to give underwear, socks, and other kind of undergarments to people, homeless people in the community who need it. And I brought it to Coach Fleck at our leadership council meeting, and right away he got behind it. And we just asked $5 from each player on the team. We ended up actually getting $600, and we ended up buying 441 items: socks, underwear, T-shirts for homeless people in the community. It was a great success on behalf of our football team.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Just to clarify, so that 600 came entirely from the team?
Yes, entirely from the team.
Okay, and to the Kalamazoo Gospel Mission?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you see from Ohio? Coach talked real glowingly about their defense. What are you looking at as you ready to face them?
They're really good. They're very physical. They're very tough. The linebackers are really, really good. Probably the best we've seen all season. The 93 to dig in is an elite player. They're extremely good defense. We're going to have to be well prepared, and we have to play our best game this year in order to beat those guys.
Coach said you might be mad at him that you didn't play against Buffalo. Is that the case?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before the game. I wasn't excited that he told me I couldn't play, but God has his way, and things work out for the best for you always. So I wasn't going to hold it against him. I just had to move on.
And how good did it feel to get back against Toledo?
It felt elite. I love being out there with the guys. It's no better feeling than going out in Waldo in front of 30,000 people and hearing those cheers again and actually being a part of the game again. I haven't been a part of the game since Georgia Southern, so to return this week against Toledo was huge.
It seems to me that you actually hurt yourself against Central, am I correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, but you came back like a week or two later and were in for 2 or 3 plays, and it looks like you kind of re-injured yourself.
Yes, I wasn't where the team wanted me to be at just yet, and we have 3 or 4 other really good running backs. So if I'm not playing my best, there's no need for me to be out there because Fabian, Tuck, Jarvion, they're exceptional. So there's no need for me to be out there hobbling around if those guys can run for another 150 yards apiece between each other.
Speaking of which, we probably have more depth at running backs than not only any team in the MAC, but maybe any team in the nation. I know that your roommate is Jarvion.
Yes.
Can you talk about that? Because a lot of people just don't get it, that you two are able to share the ball, and even Fabian and Davon and Dee, and on and on it goes. Can you talk about that relationship and how you guys pull for each other?
Yes, it's special. We actually work out together in the gym, and our Coach Kenny Burns, always talks about together. And he told us in the beginning of the season that it was going to take each and every one of us this year to play and play well in order for this team to be successful, and it has taken that. And the relationship has formed since we all got here. I was Tuck's mentor when he got here. Me and Jarvion have been roommates since we were young, since we first got here as freshmen. Fabian has always been close with us. Me and Leo's also our roommate. So the running backs have always had that bond and have always got along very well. And we all understand that we're all needed in some kind of aspect of the game. If it's short yardage, third down, or whatever it takes, we're going to be a part of it. We're going to do our part and make sure we cheer each other on whenever the person is out there, whoever's out there.
Jamauri, Coach talked a little bit about recruiting Corey, that first class. Can you talk a little bit about, you're a New Jersey kid, and we're kind of a 6-hour radius program.
Right.
We went to New Jersey because I believe you were probably one of the top-rated running backs in New Jersey
right.
when you came out of high school. Can you talk about the recruiting process and why you decided to come to Western?
I think that you guys are around Coach Fleck every single week. I think you guys see what I see every single week. The guy's special. He's different. And as a person, and I kind of see myself as being very different in the way I carry myself and go about my business. So I wanted to be around someone who's going to elevate me to a different kind of level, not athletically, but somewhere like when 10 years from now, when I take on a job, they're going to say this guy is going to be something special here wherever I go. So I believe that he can offer that. And when I got here and now I've been here, he's offered that to me, and I've grown as a man in a way that I probably wouldn't have grown in other places because he's so different in the way he goes about his thinking and carrying himself.
Jamauri, a player like you, made has an opportunity at maybe a quote-unquote bigger school, not everyone on your team gets that chance, but there's maybe guys who have the ability that maybe never got the chance. How much does that motivate you, all of you guys, to show we can play along with all these other schools, all these other big-name schools? Just because we're at Western Michigan doesn't mean that we can't compete with these other schools. How much does that drive you guys?
I mean, I think Coach Fleck always puts it best that we don't consider ourselves a Mid-American Conference school. We don't consider ourselves a MAC school. We don't carry our business as of that. So that never goes through our mind. We go about saying that we're going to be the best football team we possibly can be, as long as we change our best every single day. So as long as we do what we're supposed to do, no matter who we play or who comes in contact with us, we're going to be who we're supposed to be, and that's going to be the best team possible.
Jamauri, last year, and I know last year is last year, and I know Coach talks about it all the time, that last year has nothing to do with this game. But looking at Ohio U's defense, I think they got 8 or 9 of their defenders back. So they're going to be very similar, except perhaps better than they were last year. The first half, I think you ran for 20 yards against them. Second half, you ran for over 400 yards, and you were huge. I think you had 3 or 4 runs over 40 yards. What was the difference, and can they be exploited? Do you know how to beat this team running ball?
Last year, defensively, they had their big-time players actually got hurt. So it's definitely not going to be the same defense we've seen last year. Watching film, and as we know as players, people get better year in and year out. We can see that on our team. Corey Davis is a way better Corey Davis today than he ever was last year. I believe our running back room is a lot better than it was last year. So as players, we continue to grow, and they have grown a lot. And that's why they're only giving up 105 yards rushing a game. I mean, we're going to have to play our best game. We're going to play our best game in order to beat these guys.
We have an offensive line that's been ranked like 4th in the nation. And we have a receiver core that blocks really well downfield. Can you talk about the offensive line and the receivers blocking for you, how it makes your job easier?
And Donnie Ernsberger. We definitely can't forget Donnie and Odell Miller. But they do an exceptional job. I always tell Corey, even whenever we get downfield, I always know, like, it's probably a 99% of chance we're going to score a touchdown because the guy blocks a cornerback until he's out of bounds. He doesn't stop. He's pretty relentless out there. But our offensive line is tremendous. They're the best offensive line in the Mid-American Conference, hands down. And they do Coach Callie does a tremendous job on a day-to-day basis getting them prepared for the game. And we're lucky to be a part. We're lucky as running backs to have them up front because everyone doesn't have that luxury to run it behind the offensive line like we do.
You mentioned that Corey has developed. Where do you think that he's developed the most in the last year? Or where do you see that development?
He goes and get the 50. He goes up to get the 50-50 ball a lot, way better. And I mean, like, 50-50 ball is no longer 50-50 anymore. It's 100%. And the guy blocks. Like, whenever we watch film, that's what we kind of put on. Because as a player, you know, like, he's special. He can run an elite route. He's fast. He's explosive. But the way he blocks for his teammates just show you how much he cares about us. And that's special in a leader. And as a guy who's going to be drafted in the second round, that kind of sets him apart because the guy blocks like his life is on the line because of it.
Jamauri, 2 weeks ago, you guys got jumped in that college football playoff ranking by Boise State. Last week, Houston. They've all gone by the wayside now. Does that bother you guys you guys keep winning and you keep seeing maybe a little bit of disrespect from?
If I could be honest with you, we really don't worry. Our team really doesn't worry about like stuff like that. We had so much stuff like from the outside this year, and I've kind of watched this because I haven't been playing, so I've been kind of watching it from an outsider now. Like during those few weeks I wasn't playing, and our team handles things very, very well. You really never see us like kind of feed into the media what's going on. Even when College Game Day here, guys went to the set, but it was never really talked about in the locker room. It wasn't really that. We focus on what we have to focus on because all you can control is how we play, how we practice. We can't control the outside factors, and we do an excellent job controlling what we can control. And those things really never really even get brought up in our locker room.
That being said, do you think a New Year's Six bowl is a big enough carrot for you guys, or do you feel like?
Well, if we don't take care of this week, we'll never see New Year's Six. So we'll talk about that. God willing, if we take care of business this week, we'll talk about that next.
Were you aware of, the Boise/Wyoming games at all going into the weekend, knowing it would kind of needed Boise to not reach that Mountain West championship game?
Yes. People make mention of it. We heard about it. Our running back coach actually was a wide receiver coach at Wyoming. So we talk about it. I mean, we've heard about it, but it's not something we focus on. And I think that's the big thing. We don't focus on that kind of stuff because we can't control what Boise does. We can't control what Wyoming does, but we can control continuing to win and dominate in our one-game seasons. That's it.
Jarvie, in his freshman year, I think he had 24 touchdown rushes. I mean, broke all kinds of records. But it seems now that you're kind of the go-to goal line guy. Your body sizes and the way you run the ball are totally different. Can you comment about the short yardage situation, being a short yardage back, and obviously you're explosive as well?
Short yardage is it's tough. I mean, the defense know you're running the ball. You just gotta figure out. You gotta trust your offensive line in that zone scheme that we run, and then make a decisive decision to hit it. Jarvion does an excellent job at it as well as I do. It's just that whoever's rolling that day kind of gets it. So it's not really of who's a short yardage back or who's better or who dominates. It's kind of just a matter of who's rolling that day. So if I'm rolling, I'll get it. If he's rolling, he'll get it. Just the kind of thing that Coach Burns does. Like whoever has a hot hand, that's the guy that's going to roll.